Now, let me see the first basic. Let me need. That's right. Okay. Balance of payment. Now you may remember that. Yeah, our basic diagram, circulation of macroeconomics. The households, these four sector models. I always repeat this in a real economy. This is a four sector model, approximated by four sector model: households, government, and the business sector. And then you have the foreign sector. The markets, labor market, financial markets, and the goods market. Within this market, you have a large number of different players. Financial market, for example, you have the licensed LCBs, then you have the leasing companies, then you have the insurance companies, the primary dealers, lots of other markets. Demand supply forces works. Right? Goods market also, you have a large number of markets. Some markets competitive. Some markets monopolize. Some are oligopoly market within the market. Labor market also, you have the competitive labor market, then the market determined the wage rate. Labor market with market determined wage rate, public sector labor market, private sector labor market, like that. So these are the market forces we know. Today we are going to discuss now to explain this this economy, health of this economy. Last week we said we have different account indicators. What are these accounts? National accounts, we have discussed. Public finance, we have discussed. Concepts, what is it? What is budget deficit or surplus? How does the government finance? What are the main taxes, tax sources, indirect taxes, direct taxes? Like that we have discussed. Then some of the numbers using this Central Bank Annual Report 2019, latest annual report, we discuss some the numbers. So again, we raise the question there, the why we should study the government, the budget deficit or surplus government, because when compared to the all the other sectors, companies, biggest companies, private sector company, the government is the biggest. Right? You can't compare. It's a trillion rupee economy. No other company has that sort of that level of the revenue or the expenditure item. Now, at the same time, government has some other the influences on the economy. I think I just missed one of these points in the public finance. We said private sector take decision using demand and supply forces, market forces, price mechanism. Government sector take decision, allocate resources using the budget. Budget is the key instruments for resource allocation of resources in the economy, for education, for health, for the eradication of the pollution, then the prisons, schools, all these, the highways, roads, then that is budget. They use budget. Right? Then the one important point I didn't discuss, I just want to take down some notes. Of course, in that note, I just I didn't mention. I could mention that private sector provides private goods. Public sector, or the government, public sector provide public goods. We couldn't discuss the difference between public goods and the private good. There are three key differences. Take down these three key differences: public goods, private good. Private good, public good. The private goods are rivalrous in consumption. Private goods are rivalrous in consumption. Public goods are non-rivalrous in consumption. Take down. Private goods are rivalrous. Public goods are non-rivalrous. What does that mean? In the case of private goods, rivalrous. That means the bread is a private good. If I buy one loaf of bread, the amount available to others will go down by 1. But public goods are the non-rivalrous. What does that mean? When I consume a public good or a service, the amount, total amount available to others will remain the same. does not change. Street lights. Street lights is a good example for public goods. So when I get the service of a street line, I walk down the street. When I walk down this, I get the service. I get the service of this line. Legal system. I can get the service. You also can get the service. Amount available to others won't decrease. That is the rivalrous in non-rivalrous in consumption. Rivalrous means one person's consumption deprived, reduce the amount available to others. The non-rivalrous in a person's, one consumer's consumption of a public good or service does not reduce amount available to others. Legal system, then the street light, the law and order. Peace is a public good. I can enjoy peace. You all can enjoy peace. Amount available to all the people in Sri Lanka, all Sri Lankans will remain the same. Peace is a public good, right? Non-rivalrous, in consumption, the public good, whereas private goods are rivalrous. Second property is non-excludable. Public goods are theoretically non-excludable. Private goods are excludable. Private goods excludable, public goods non-excludable. What does that mean? Exclusion means you stop consumption. Non-excludable means you cannot prevent, you cannot ask certain group of consumers, citizens in the country, no, you are not entitled to consume this. That is non-excludable. Public goods are non-excludable. Private goods, excludable. Good example is private road. Residents only. You may have seen this notice. Sometimes they put up this notice. Private road, residents only. What does that mean? Non-residents are excluded. Non-residents are excluded. Private goods are excludable. Public goods, you can't do that. Non-excludable. Pure public goods. Pure public goods, non-excludable. Then these are the two important properties of pure public goods, non-rivalrous and non-excludable. Another weak property of the private and public goods is non-rejectable. For example, private good rejectable. If you don't like, if you don't want to pay that price, you can say no, I don't want. But in the case of public goods, even if you don't like, you can't say no. Peace, legal system, law and order, it is there, right? Then the pollution, it is there, right? Pollution is a public good. Why is that? Even you don't like, even though you don't like pollution, it is there. Tsunami is a public good. Why? Non-rejectable, non-excludable, right? You can't say the tsunami, when tsunami comes, it won't spare one part of some of the consumers or the living in some area. Well, it is because of this. Naturally, there are some people were safe, but the coastal area, almost all were affected, non-excludable. So the non-rejectable, the non-rivalrous in consumption. These are the three properties of public good. Now these and private good, please take down. Public goods, non-rivalrous. Public goods, non-excludable. Weak property, non-rejectable. That also is most of the textbooks use when they define a public good, non-rivalrous and non-excludable property. You should be able to explain what is it, what does that mean, the meaning of those two terms, right? That is important. Today we are going to discuss another economic indicator, balance of payment. That very funny name, balance of payment, payment balance, balance of payment. Now the balance of payment is an account. Balance of payment is an account. Now you know that when you say account, the T account, you have the credits and debits. Credits and debits. They use credits, money coming in, money going out. Dollars coming in, dollars going out. Now this account is prepared for the whole country, not for the one company, one particular group of companies. No, this is for the whole country. So country, between country and residents of a country and residents of other countries. So transaction between residents of a country and residents in other countries are entered in this balance of payment account. Now you can ask the question, transaction between two residents, two countries are taken place not in rupees, in foreign country, in dollars, in different currencies, yen, dollars, right? The euros, right? Then the sterlings, like that. So then what will happen? Generally we prepare the in using dollars. So it is a foreign transaction. Inflow of dollars, outflow of dollars. Inflow of dollars, outflow of dollars. What are the inflow of dollars? Exports. Export of tea, rubber, coconut, like this major export, mine export crops. We are getting money. Then again, outflow of imports, importation of cars, fertilizer, fuel, then imports, money going out, dollars going out. Then services. Another. Then our people, our Sri Lankans go abroad, Mecca. They go and spend. Sometimes Buddhists go to India, Nepal, and the Varanasi, and therefore there. Then Christians maybe gone to Italy when then for the worship this for the see the Pope, right? So therefore, when Sri Lankan going abroad, they spend money for air ticket and hotel charges and the other miscellaneous expenses. They spend money going out, dollars going out. Then when the foreigners come here, Koreans, Chinese people, Europeans, from Germany, from UK, from India, people come and visit here. Tourists. As a tourist or as professionals, they come. When they come, they stay one of the hotels here. When they come, they have to buy a ticket from Sri Lankan, so Thai Airways or some other airlines, Emirates. They have to pay for the tickets. Then the various the services they are getting from hospitals, from the banks, from the hotels, when they spend. Even so, if some of the tourists they go to small boutiques and eat something, eat roti and with katta sambal, again they have to pay. They are paying rupees, but originally they bring dollars. Conversion is done. That is different. So dollars coming, dollars going out. So then in the balance of payment account is an account. All these credits and debits are entered. Credits, inflow of dollars, debits, outflow of dollars. And then balance in the T account, balance in this account is called balance of payment. Now you can, in simple terms, you understand what is BOP. Then, like any account, you can have a deficit or surplus. Balance of payment, surplus or balance of payment, deficit, right? Now, today we are going to discuss this balance of payment account. Now, for study purposes, for the facilitate, the give some the relief to these the students, academics, and the bankers. When they prepare this account, there are various sub accounts. Merchandise account, primary income account, secondary income account, sub accounts are there. Then the capital account, like that, you have various sub accounts. Overall idea, it's an account. So you add all these balances in this sub account and get the balance of payment overall position. It could be surplus or a deficit, right? Sub account. It's like in your the reading room, living room, or your room, the study room. Your book, you have your computer, iPad is there. Then you have textbooks, IBSL books. If you are reading some novels, it is there. If you are reading some religious books, you keep separately. Right? In the wardrobe, the almirah, keep the separately you are given for your these clothes are separate. Not everything in everywhere, right? Nowadays, some of my the sons and daughters, I think friends' sons and daughters, they are very unorganized. They are not that organized. Everything is everywhere. So that is not in the balance of payment is different. Balance of payment was internationally classified, internationally given. This the classification is there. Balance of payment, BOP, revision BOP standards have been defined by the UN classifications. Sometimes IMF have defined, okay, this the methodology, classification methodology. This how you classify different transaction. This transaction A should go to this sub account. Transaction B should go to this sub account. Transaction C, this one, right? Like that, standard classification is the standard system of the classification is there. So every country in the world has to follow these standards. So then you can compare. These numbers are comparable because everybody is using same format. When you say balance of payment deficit, current account deficit, primary income deficit, we know the meaning is now these are the items in this account. Balance of payment, right? Balance of payment is an account. There are two sides, credit and debits. Then there could be a credit balance or the debit balance. When there is a credit balance, we call balance of payment surplus. When there is a debit balance, we say that it is a deficit, right? For the study purposes, so the countries has to use this classification, standard classifications given by IMF classification, BF balance of payment, the revision 5, revision 6. I think they are now using revision 5. The budget also has an international classification, right? So because of the comparison purposes, country has to use. They are compelled to use this. Okay. Now generally what is BOP, right? Now these are the account. Now see the BOP. BOP is a record of transaction between residents of a country and other countries. Underline, residents of a country and other countries. Transaction within the country, we have lots of transaction using rupees, domestic transaction. But here we mean between residents and other residents in other countries and this country. Imports, importation of vehicles, exports of tea, rubber, coconut. Our computer, the personnel go and work for the foreign the clients. They earn money, right? Our banks operating in commercial banks have branches in Bangladesh. The BOC has the branches in Chennai or the London branch. Some officers are going there. Their salaries are paid in dollars. So they earn money. They earn profits. Profits comes. Dollars comes. Similarly, foreign banks, we have foreign banks, foreign companies here in Sri Lanka operating. They send profit abroad, money going out. So that's why this is not domestic money, foreign money. Foreign currencies involved. You can't say it's even though you have a large number of foreign currencies, but we prepare the country prepares balance of payment in dollars. Most of in the world, nearly the 60 to 70% of the transactions, international transactions are taken place and in dollars, right? Now Chinese ringgit is now Chinese. What is the Chinese currency? Chinese currency is now dominating gradually, but it's not still a convertible currency. So that's why country prepare our balance of payment account in dollars. As at the same time, our domestic money terms, rupee terms also we prepared, but originally it is the transaction foreign currency terms, right? Now compiler, who is the compiler? Central Bank. Monetary authority. Any country, balance of payment account is compiled by the central bank. Monetary authority of that the country. Monetary authority, MAS, monetary authority of Singapore is the central bank. Bank Negara is the central bank of Thailand. Central Bank of Sri Lanka. Reserve Bank of India. Central Bank of India. Like that. Then the Federal Reserve Bank. Central Bank of the US. Right. Then the Bank of England. Central Bank of England. They are the compilers. They compile. They get all the information from the banks. All these foreign transactions, dollar transactions, money should be remitted through the banks. So banks has all the information, very accurate information, up to a cent, up to the last cent. They record these things. So you can say in a country, the commercial bank information are the very clean database is there. Otherwise, you can't do the business. No, so no manipulations, no the changes. It's a very pure database. What is the frequency of estimation? Central bank, when they prepare, of course, in the annual report, they prepare the published annual BOP, but internally they prepare quarterly BOP statements, half-yearly, and also annually, right? What are the sub-accounts in overall BOP? Today we are going to discuss. The next slides, we are going to discuss sub-accounts. So the large number of sub-accounts we'll discuss. Give the value of each measure. Again, we can discuss that. Are they flow or stock variable? As we said, there are two types of variables: stock variable, flow variable. National account is the flow variable. Then the reserves. So, for example, profit and loss is a flow variable. Profit, loss, income and expenditure, they are flow variable. Then the assets and liabilities, stocks. Unemployment, stocks. Unemployed stock, right? The balance of payment, most of the transactions are, their variables are flow. But based on this final position of the balance of payment, we prepare assets, country's reserve position, assets and liability, foreign currency assets, net foreign assets. That is an asset. So in the BOP, you have the flow variables as well as stock variable, right? Okay. Right. These are the Now we will go to this very short number of slides, a small amount. Then I go to the other one now. Right. This is the Central Bank Annual Report 2019. This is the latest annual report. The chapter 5, the external sector development. External sector means balance of payment, right? Now this is the mainly I have included around 7 tables. My discussion is based on those 7 tables. But before that, you can read this. Now in the Central Bank Annual Report, overview. In every chapter, start from an overview. Overview, they analyze the particular year, what is happening, what is going on, what happened. So what are the policies, key policy measures, right? First, before we read this section, we'll go to this is the table 1. Now from this you can get all the sub account. At the end you have the balance of payment. Overall balance is there. This is an account balance. You can have the net position is there, and rupees million, US dollar million. You generally US dollar million. Every country, it is according to the system of transaction. Central bank should convert these dollars in rupees, and you have to show these in rupees also. By Central Bank of Indian rupee in India, they use dollars and the Indian rupees. Then the Singapore dollars, and the dollars, and the ringgit is used by the Malaysia. Like that, baht is used by baht and dollars by other country, Malaysia, Thailand. Right? Okay. Overall balance is the overall balance. That's a deficit, surplus, deficit. So these are in rupees. These through in, for example, 2018, you had the deficit, balance of payment, overall balance of payment deficit. Then 2019, small surplus. Rupee terms, of course, because we will concentrate in dollars, right? Overall. Now we have the sub account, trade account, service account. Trade account, this is the net position, deficit. The net position, deficit. Service account, now that is interesting. Service account, you have the surplus. Both account years you have the surpluses. That is interesting. Then the primary income under the sub account, deficit. Secondary income, surplus. Let's see what are these key items. Work remittances. This is huge, $6.7 billion. These are in millions, no? If you say 6,726 million means, or 6,717 millions means 6.7 billion. 7 billion. You see, this is a billion. See the largest item in the except these exports and import. These are the other account. This is the huge 7 billion, right? Then the capital account, another sub account. Current and capital account, financial account. That's how the sub account will come gradually. Then trade account, trade balance. What is a trade account? You have the exports and imports. Exports and imports. Exports, value of exports. Value of exports in 2019, 11.9 billion. $9.9 billion. Exports means we are getting dollars. Inflow of dollars, exports. But what will happen to the imports? Imports 19.9, almost 20 billion. Exports 12 billion. The imports 9 billion. Imports mean money going out. So therefore, there's a deficit of 7 billion. 8 billion, we call it current account or the trade account. Trade balance is 8 billion. Even 2018, usually our exports is half of the imports, nearly 22 billion, 11 billion, 22 billion, 11 billion, 19 billion, 12 billion, like that. Half of this is a huge, this is a problem. So when you import more and more, dollars going out, dollars going out. Dollars is our reserves. Dollars, we have huge reserves. So this, how do you pay this for the imports? From our reserves, our assets, reserve asset, international reserves, we pay these dollars. Honor these dollars. When you import more and more cars, money going out. Then when you import crude oil, money going out, dollars going out. So that's why they gone after the COVID period, because our reserve position went down. We had a very serious problem, balance of payment issues. Then government say, stop imports. Direct restriction. Unnecessary imports are banned. So the current account, vehicle importation up to now, they have banned. Some of the other consumer items, they think they are unnecessary. They think we have enough vehicle stock in this country. We can't, we should not allow more and more vehicles to come in. So they stop. Then dollars going out, outflow of dollars decrease, right? So you can control that. These are the post-COVID period, you had this import restriction, right? Then service, receipts and payment. Receipts is credit, payments, debit. Receipts, credit, payments, debit. Overall service account, we have the surplus. That's a good, healthy feature of our balance of payments. Service account, we'll see, we'll go this in detail. What are these receipts and what are these payments? In next table, we have that. Then the net position, anyway, it's a surplus, 3.7 billion, 2.8 billion surplus, dollars, billion. Primary income account, we have the deficit, nearly 2.4, 3 and 4 billion, the deficit. Secondary income, we are lucky. Second income account is a sub account. Net position is really interesting. We have surplus, 6.1 billion, 5.7 billion. Now you can see what will happen, how it comes, the surpluses come, mainly worker remittances. Worker remittances, nearly 90% of these worker remittances coming from Middle East countries, right? Balance 10% comes from other countries. Also, 90% comes from this, the Middle East countries. Middle East countries, mainly the domestic workers. Some professionals are there, the engineers are there, quantity service are there. So the electronic engineers are there, but at the same time, drivers are there. Then the money coming in, the earnings coming to this country, value is around 7 billion, Now you can, now this year, there can be some question, what will happen to COVID impact on this balance of payment? The COVID seriously affects balance of payment account. Inflows, worker remittances definitely will go down. We have no estimate, but anyway, 6-7 billion will come to 2 billion, 3 billion, because the foreign employment, most of these countries, they don't demand labor. They are in trouble, right? They send back. All these foreign employees have been sending back. Have been sending back to their respective countries. So our worker remittances will go down. Huge problem. Our reserves will go down. What will happen to exports? Trade account, nearly 12 billion, 11.8 billion trade account. Again, demand for exports will go down for two reasons. Exports demand, foreigners demand for our tea, foreigners demand for our rubber products, foreigners demand for our jewelry products, gems. The mainly depend on their income, their GDP, their economic growth. When those economies are growing, they demand Sri Lankan tea, they demand Sri Lankan rubber, they demand the gems from Sri Lanka, they demand jewelry products from Sri Lanka, ceramic products from Sri Lanka, right? Our computer engineers. Then what will happen? Export sector will be seriously affected. Exports of goods. Two reasons. That is one thing, that the demand is not growing. At the same time, airports are closed. Ports are closed mostly. They're not operating, partially operated now. Gradually, they are opening up. Once they open up, they will come to that level. But still, if the growth is slow, this year, first quarter, our growth rate was negative. Most of the countries' growth rates negative. Projected growth rates for 2020 is negative. The economies are not growing. Then demand for exports will not come, will not realize. Right? That is our New Zealand economy, negative growth rate. Australian economy, negative growth rate. GDP will come down. People are poorer than earlier. Countries are poorer than earlier. Therefore, no demand. That's it, right? Okay, now the COVID will affect exports. COVID will affect worker remittances. So you have to know. But now there's a box article in this chapter. I want to read this box article also. Right, okay. These are about the sub account. I will go to the balance of payment overall account. You have the various sub accounts. We have some idea about sub account. Some sub accounts you have the surplus, some have deficit, right? Again, you should be able to explain the analyze the COVID impact on this sub account. Now, first we go to this next page. You have the initial Now, recently, the central bank started the new the presentation method graphically. This is a very good approach. Central bank now every chapter you have this graphically. You give the scan and everything at a glance. You can see what will happen. For example, exports 11.9 2019, 11.9 the billion US dollars. What are these? Garments, then the tea, rubber, then the other manufacturing items, right? So these are the US dollars. So at a glance, you can see this. The Sri Lanka trade performance showed a notable improvement in 2019, not 2019. Imports slowed significantly. Exports improved marginally, resulting in a significant reduction in trade deficit. Trade deficit means trade account position. Trade account, you are a deficit. You are a deficit. Trade account, you have a deficit, no? 10 billion deficit. So 8 billion deficit. Now what will happen? Slight improvement, 2.3 billion. The trade deficit, the reduction in the trade deficit by that much. For example, what is reduction in? This is the 10.3 minus 8. 10.3 minus 8 is 2.7, right? Reduction in trade deficit, right? Imports, what are the imports? Fuel. We spent 3.9 billion in 2019 on this the importation of oil, crude oil. Then the inputs to the garment sector, because the garments we import finished product, but what about threads, materials? We have to imports. But that's why the garment sector is good, but the net contribution to the GDP is not that high, because when the material inputs are deducted, the garment sector contribution is not that high, right? Then this other importation of the machines, machinery and equipment, construction materials, not only cement, some input for cement, then the other melamine or some other consumption, the ceramic product, construction material, then the chemicals, vehicles, then the other plastic material, plastic product. Right? You can see this descending order: 3.9 expense, 3.9, 2.9, 2.5, 1.5 construction, 0.8 like that. So the first two, the giants are oil and inputs for garments. Here the first two giants are the garments and exports and the tea, garments and tea, right? 1.3. Then what will happen? Trade balance. The pictorial presentation is really good actually. Then you can see the tourist arrival. Tourist arrival generally tourist arrivals. In 2019, 2018. Now you can see the 2018. Now this green, this section is the increase in the when compared to 2018 increase is there. Now what will happen? Decrease from 2018 red item. So there's a COVID attack, the Easter Sunday attack is after Easter Sunday attack. So the almost tourism sector came to zero. Now you can see this is a drop in the after Easter attack. Now gradually it is improving. It is improving. After that, this is Easter Sunday, Easter attack, Easter Sunday. Now after that you had a problem. 2019, what will happen? 20 came to zero. Huge drop. Now you can say there was a recovery. Initially huge drop. 2019, then gradually it improved. Easter the Sunday attack. After that improving. After when December, that's a huge improvement. But what happened December? Along with that, you have this 2020. You had this COVID. Till next year annual report, you can see till come to see. Still, tourist arrivals is not that improving. Gradually, they are coming, but it's not that high. Tourism suffered a major setback due to Easter Sunday attacks, but observed a faster than expected recovery. Recovery is there. This dotted line. Recovery is there. But in this year, 2020, COVID. So we are very unfortunate. The world is unfortunate. Actually, COVID is coming, not only Sri Lanka. So then the COVID is there again. We are gradually we are improving our tourism sector. There was a huge recovery. Again, we came to zero. Right? Then what will happen? Despite in the moderation in service inflows, worker remittances alongside an unchanged primary income account deficit, current account deficit narrowed. Current account deficit I will discuss. What is current account deficit? Before that, let's discuss your work remittances improvement. Work remittances, you have the 6.7 billion. These are the work remittances. Other transport activities, work remittances $6.7 US dollars. You can see work remittances. 6.7 billion 2019, right? Try to understand this. Then the significant inflows of the financial account, the other sub accounts we will discuss. Then COVID. COVID is huge. Now there's a special box article is there. The outbreak of COVID-19 could pose significant challenges. Could pose significant challenges to the external sector. External sector, then balance of payment. 2020 particularly impacting exports, tourist earnings, and work remittances. These are the three key sectors. Foreign employment coming down, Middle East employment coming down, work remittances decreases. Tourists are not coming, tourist earnings will come down, right? But at the same time, interesting thing is the net position will not that bad because the tourists are not coming. Sri Lankans are not going abroad. Inflow is decreasing, outflow also decreasing, right? There's a huge impact. I say definitely there's a negative. Inflow is higher than the outflow. No? So therefore, both exports, definitely exports. Our exports, the inflow decreases. Outflow, government put some cap. Government put some restriction for importation of unnecessary the things, right? Please go through this, understand this, the impact of COVID on the balance of payment account. Now we'll go to, this is the account. You have to know overall balance of payment, sub accounts, position of the sub account, right? Trade account, service. Now the current account. What is current account? Current account is balance in the trade account, balance in the service sub account, balance in the primary income account, balance in the secondary income account. if you add all these four balances, 5.7 minus 2.4, 2.8 minus 1.9, you get minus 1.8. This side was on 18, 6.1 minus 2.3, surplus 3.7 minus 10.3, 2.7. It balances in these sub account. Now that is interesting thing is current account. Now we say current account has an improvement in current account. Why is that? There's a deficit of 2.7 billion, 2.8 billion deficit. 2.9 there's a deficit. Deficit has decreased. So therefore we call current account as improvement in current account. Improvement 2.7 to 1.8. 2.7 to 1.8. That's improvement in the current account. So therefore it is that's why in this pictorial presentation they say, despite the current account deficit narrowed significantly, 2.8, 1.8, 2.8 current account deficit, 1.8, mainly due to the contraction of the trade deficit. Why? What are the reasons? This current account improvement is negative deficit. Deficit has come down. That is called, why is that? What is the reason? Trade account. Trade account, huge deficit, 10 billion deficit came down to 8 billion, 2 billion drop in trade deficit. That is reflected by the improvement in the current account, right? Others, of course, the surplus decreases. There's a worsening of. We had 3.7 deficit service account, but it is surplus, still a surplus, but it is not good, coming down. Then for example, there's a primary income slight deterioration, worsening, worsening. Here also deterioration, is a drop in secondary income, 6.1 to 5.7. So then the capital account. Capital account is a small account. Capital account credit, capital account capital transfers. Capital transfers entered in this account, negligible amount, 14 billion. Current and capital account balances 2.7, 2.79. There's a surplus. There's a surplus. Capital account, you have surpluses, right? Shall you read a little bit about this? Sri Lanka's external sector remained resilient, emerging, right? In 2019, despite heightened domestic vulnerabilities. Slightly, you can read that. I just want to read a few the paras. A substantial contraction in the trade deficit, along with healthy inflows to the service account, resulted in a surplus in the external current account. So in the first quarter of 2019, however, the current account was adversely affected by the developments following the Easter Sunday attacks, which impacted the tourism sector in particular. With the gradual widening of the trade deficit, especially towards the end of the year, and decline in earnings from tourism and work remittances, the current account turned to deficit levels from the second quarter of 2019. There's a quarterly they analyze this thing. But anyway, this overall position. However, the annual deficit remained significantly below the deficit. Improvement is there. Current account improvement, both deficit. The overall contraction in the trade deficit was driven by a significant reduction in the expenditure on merchandise imports. Import decrease, right? Please read this the section. You can understand. First, we'll go back to this structure, the service account, primary income, secondary income. Then we go to the what is the service account key things. Composition of imports, you have the composition of exports. I just want to discuss the service account key items. Right, service account, current and capital account. Now this is in direct debit and credit, right? Debit and credit. You can see the trade account, goods and services account, trade account. This is also trade account. General merchandise 11.89, 22.3. Then the goods and services account, credit credit the 11.89. What is this credit? Exports. Debit. Design double bookkeeping system. Debit is imports. Earlier net position, right? The net 10.343. Slightly, this should be minus 10 point. This is 7.9 deposit. Credit and debit difference is this net position. You can see 7.9. Designed 10.7.9. 7.9, 10.3. That is the net. Yeah, imports and export. Imports, exports, credit, imports, debit. Exports, credit, import, debits. Exports, credit, imports, debit, right? Credit and debit. Exports, credit means inflow of money. Debits, outflow. Credit minus debit is the net position. Credit is 11.89. Debit 22.23. 2019. Credit 11.9. Exports. Debit 19.9. Imports. Net position. Deficit 7.9. Trade account. Services, that is important. Services, let's see what are the service account. The service account, you have the primary income account, secondary income account, then the current account. You can see current account consists of trade account or the goods account, services account, primary income account, then the secondary income account. Balances in these four accounts is the current account, right? Now we can see services. What are these key services? Transport. Sea transport, credit, debit. Sea transports, money going out, money coming in. Services, you have the margins, not the value of goods. Value of goods going to the goods account. Services, service charges, fares, air fares, freight, fares, charges are entered in the service charges are entered in service account. Air transport, passenger transport. Transport, mainly ticketing, the freight. Then you have the travel account. Travel, you have the travel is mainly tourism. Tourism, you can see service account. It's a tourist. Tourists are coming in. Tourists are going. When tourists are coming, they buy ticket. They stay in the hotel. They do banking transaction. They pay some service fees. Then value is 4.3 billion. Inflow, credits, earnings, tourism earnings. What is this 1.6? People are going to Mecca. People are going to the Venice, the Italy, Rome. People are going to the Varanasi, right? Or pleasure trips. Arrange the tours are there. People are going to Japan, Vietnam, other countries. Earning. Total expenditure 1.6 billion. Balance is, that is interesting, you have surplus. Why is that? We are getting more earnings from tourism, 4.3 billion. Now here also credit 3.6, 1.6, 1.9. Now remember, underline these things. This is the key sector that is affected by COVID for 2020. Definitely earnings will come down. Both will come down. But we are not. Sri Lankan will not go, is not going out. No, they are not going out. Tourists are not going. Both will decreases, right? Definitely, there will be deficit or marginal surplus for 2020. Then the goods account, exports. Credit is exports. You can mention here good general merchandise mean the exports, imports, exports, imports, exports, import, credit, debit. Exports is a credit, debit. When this sector will also be affected because of this COVID, 11.9 definitely will come down. Imports, the government put some restriction on import. Definitely this will come down. The vehicle importation of vehicles, but there are some essential import. Oil, you can't say no. You have to have this. Then some food items, there are compulsory food items are there. You can't say no to this, and this will go down, but not that much. The service account, then the construct. You can see these are service account. Then let's go to primary income account. Primary income account, another sub account in the current account. Sub account, the Compensation of employed. Sub account, this is there's a deficit. Deficit in both years, there's a deficit 2.385, 2.426. This is credit 28, debit 221 credit. This is debit, right? Dividends, renewal, portfolio investment, credit and debit. Equity investment, the money going out, debit, money, credit and debit, credit and debit. Investment, short term, long term. See the other investment. These are the earnings from flows, interest on short term investment, interest on long term, because the interest when the foreigner come and invest, buy the shares in our share market stock exchange, because they can or if they earn start the opening buying the treasury bond or treasury bills, you have the capital earnings, interest earnings earned, dividend earned. So these classification different, interest earned, interest earning, dividends earned, coming to this primary income account. Capital is going to the other account, capital account, we will discuss later. Only current flow, current account, current transaction and interest earned are entered here. The 4 billion, this is a long term, you can see there's a huge surplus, 963. That's why it is deficit, 963 billion, 969 billion. The interest going out of the economy. So, for example, this depends on the interest rates. If interest rates coming down, interest earned on those investments decreases. So therefore, it will be it is the negative, but it will lower negative one. If suppose foreigner sell his the treasury bills or treasury bonds, investor, the entire portfolio is sold, then what will happen? There's a huge outflow. That is in the financial account. We will discuss that. So these are only flow. Then the second income. This is another important point. I just want to show that secondary income account, there is a surplus 6.1 billion, 5.7 billion. Well, I want to compare these two tables. First table and this is table 7, no? Table 5. Table 5.7, table 5.1 and table 5.7. Compare and understand this. Work remittances, underline this, underline this work remittances line. Underline this travel in the earlier one, travel underline. Well, these are the key numbers, right? Travel underline these numbers. Yes, that's right. Secondary income. Then the current account is, balances in goods account, service account, primary income account, secondary income. 4 sub account is the current account. Then the capital account. Capital account is negligible, very small amount. Well, here they explain what are the items coming under the capital account. I want to read this one and take them on. Service account significantly affected by Easter Sunday attacks, right? Okay. So the current and capital account is the set now. Now let's go back to 5.1. 5.1 we have discussed up to this point, current and capital account. What is current account? What are the key sub accounts in the current account? Then their positions, whether they are deficit or surplus. Then the what impact of Easter Sunday attack. Then the impact, future impact by COVID on this account we discussed. I think you should be able to forecast, predict what is the COVID position, what is the impact of COVID. COVID definitely will affect exports, then tourism and the work remittances, right? So these accounts will be affected, worsening. Now we come to the financial and the other account, financial and other financial account. Financial account. Now this is interesting. Financial account we entered. What are the transactions we entered in the financial account? We entered all the loans. Then the sale of assets, buying of assets, loans and investment. All these transactions are entered in the financial account. Current account, we enter all the flows, interest earned, expenditure on goods, expenditure on imports, earning from exports, then the work remittances, inflows. The capital account, investment, loans, borrowed. Loan, when you get a loan, it will be you come to you borrow. You can lend money to outside. You can borrow money. You can buy some shares in other countries. You can buy a land or the building for your embassy in US or India, right? Or the Seychelles. Seychelles now we have Seychelles is a tiny country. Seychelles, a very tiny country. I think it's smaller than Maldives now. So now we are going to have the diplomatic relationship between Seychelles and Sri Lanka. If you want to buy the building for your embassy in Seychelles, money going out. The money buying of purchase of assets entered under this financial account. Let's see what are these financial account. Direct investment, assets, liabilities, assets and liabilities. Portfolio investment, assets and liabilities. What is the difference between direct investment and portfolio investment? Direct investments mean, as I said earlier last week, when the Toyota company do an investment, they've come, they buy this plot of land, then they bring all this the machinery equipment, they hire people, they start the project. Direct investment, correct? Then for example, a Sri Lankan bank go and invest abroad, they can have the same model. Commercial bank, they can buy a plot of land in Bangladesh, build, or they can purchase this building. Then they bring all this computer, the software, they buy and the computers and start a business. That is maybe foreign direct investment, outflow of money, inflow of money. Direct investment, when the Korean company come and invest in start up the factory in free trade zone in Biagama. They bring all the machineries, hire people, start producing, sending, exporting these things. Most of the economy, these activities are controlled by them, financed by this Korean investor. That is direct investment. Portfolio investment is not that like. You bring the money, buy some shares. You bring the money, buy invest in treasury bills. You bring the money, buy financial the assets, financial assets, right? You can see direct investment, assets, liabilities, portfolio investment. That is portfolio investment. The debt securities, and the equity securities, debt securities, and the foreigners can lend money to one of these countries, one of these companies here, the John Keells, MS, Brandix. They can get foreign loans, dollar loans, right? So they then as a loan, if they get as a loan, they can sign an agreement. Okay, within 5 years, 10 years period, we will pay this loan. This is the interest rate, because the terms and conditions are defined. Interest rates and these are the payment mechanism methods. This scheme is there. Then they start paying that loan, or foreigners can give the money, buy some shares of this company. Then companies have to issue shares, equities, right? Equity, debt securities, equities. They are coming under portfolio, not the direct investment. Direct investment, you buy land, real asset, real investment. Buy, bring the machinery, start producing this in direct and portfolio, right? So especially these compared to direct investment, portfolio investments are very volatile, very sensitive. How it comes? People want to sell their shares and bills and bonds, and they bring back their money, outflow. But in the case of direct investment, you can't do that. So the countries are more benefited from the direct investment compared to the portfolio investment. So volatile, very sensitive to world event, domestic and foreign event, right? Bomb blast, foreigners sell their things and go back the investment bills and bonds, investment bills and bonds, they're going back. Portfolio investment. So what is best? Direct investment is best. FDIs, foreign direct investment. That this is the challenge that Sri Lanka we have. We invite investors, come and invest. Foreign direct investment is there, land is there, so you can have your own businesses. But the thing is, they are not coming. So they are coming, but not the level that we expect. But maybe these companies are going to Maldives tourism. They go and start the tourism. Maldives consists of large number of the small islands. Sometimes some islands is domestic domestic resident Maldives are not allowed to visit. The Maldives boat service is the key mode of transport. Boats. Malay, you get down, take a boat, go to the office by boat, right? So one of the islands are 20 kilometers away from here, or sometimes 5 kilometers away. The boat service is there. Malay is another issue is there. Malay airport and the sea level, not that much of difference. Not you can see it, right? So that's why this is a tiny island. One day, Mali will be sinking, right? So these kind of the tiny nations are there, small nations are there. So the world is now thinking about those nations. What will happen in the future? We don't know. In the future, the Malays is they have some the protective these. They reclaim and try to protect their land, but it is sea level and the land level is more or less the same. You may have gone to visit Malay. It is from here to Malay is around 45 minutes flight. Yes, yes. I have not just gone there. I have seen. I have when I was coming back from one of these seminars, we landed the Maldives Malay airport, and then you can see. Oh, we went down. Yes, went down and just went to this the transit area. Yes. Then there is so foreigners might go to Malay tourism. FDIs for Malay. You go. Sri Lanka, we have a problem. Right? Even though we have peace, we have political stability. Now we have to start inviting these foreign direct investment. We have the labor force is highly educated. Literacy rate is quite high. Our the life expectancy is very high. Then the literacy rate is high. I mean, when high literate people mean you can understand things. You can work with the primary education. Almost all the students, 90% of the students have completed their primary education, O levels and A levels, right? So then very few the dropouts, right? So therefore, when foreign investors come, they always check the literacy level, literacy rate of these educated people. Then that means that an indicator. You can learn this operating these machines. You can teach them, not like a person with very low education and person with at least secondary education. So they are willing to come, but still we have to explore the reasons why we cannot get the foreign investment at the required level, expected level. Sometimes this government, now political stability is another key issue. Now we have the political stability in the country. The foreigners might think, but still the problem is those countries are closed down. Those countries are having problems. That is the issue. They are not, investors are not active, those countries. The portfolio, they are not coming to our shares. So slowly till picking up. Right. So that is the portfolio and the direct investment. Actually, today we discuss overall, we are going to discuss the BOP overall account, various sub-account, current and capital account, sub-accounts, positions. You have to know what are the key items under each account. There are credit or debit, right? Positions. Then the investment and loans and investment, sales of assets are entered in the financial account. Then financial derivatives, other investment assets. Because in this way, you have to know, you don't want to know details, but loans, all the loans are entered in this financial account. Net proceed loans by central bank, foreign loans by central bank, foreign loans by deposit taking corporation, Commercial banks are permitted to borrow foreign loans. General government can borrow foreign loans. Other sectors, even the private sector, get a loan, foreign loan from the foreign country, foreign donor, foreign country, foreign investor. At the end, you can't say, government can't say the no to them when they default. If they are not in a position to pay back these loans, the company, private sector company, it is the government responsibility. It is our government responsibility. That's why government is always monitoring these transactions. Exchange Control Act is there just to monitor. You don't allow people to go and borrow from any investor, any company, any the country, any amount. No, you have to give the contracts, interest rates, the paying the schedule. So they ask then only they allow the permit. They give the permit to borrow these things, right? Because ultimately, responsibility comes to the government. That is the issue. That is the issue. That's the thing. Deposit taking corporation, general government, other sectors, trade credit and advances, other account. Now these are specifically in this financial account. You have to know what is the difference between direct and portfolio. Investments are entered as the direct or portfolio. Loans are entered in this account. Are they getting from central bank or then the reserve assets? Reserve assets are entered in this. Reserve assets is another account, financial account. Reserve asset is a monetary gold, IMF, the transaction, IMF, the currencies and deposit, gold, these transactions, reserve assets. Reserve assets are entered. Then our gold. You have gold, we own gold. Monetary gold is there. In the IMF and the IMF, sometimes in physical form, book entry form, they have the value. So we can value. The thing is, last year government actually the last year 2010-15 period, we had huge gold reserve. We sold that. That's why now economists are talking about this thing. Now, if you had this. If you had this gold reserve by this time, we could we are strong in our foreign assets, right? Foreign assets, these gold are included, no? So that is the issue. Right? So the selling of sales of this gold is another issue. But actually, it's official selling, right? So the reserves are coming down. That's the issue, right? Monetary gold, the special drawing, right? Right. Okay. Then the overall errors and omission, like any account, you have the. Now this is overall balance. Overall balance is for 2000. This is the 19. 4 billion. Overall balance is. Now this is the 2018, 19, 18 and 19. In dollars, in rupee terms, is 4 billion. In dollar terms, 2018, you had a deficit of 1 billion. What does that mean? Net outflow of $1 billion. All these sub account, plus minus, current account, financial account, but net position, deficit. In 2019, we were lucky. We had a small surplus, 377 million, 0.3 billion, 377 million, the surplus, inflow, positive inflow. Is there, right? Plus in credit is higher than the debit, right? Okay. Well, these are some of all these accounts. The current account can improve while trade account deterioration, while trade account deteriorate, current account can improve. Current account surplus can improve. Why is that? Because you have other accounts also, no? Primary account, primary income account, service account, secondary income account. If they improves, one of these account improves, current account still improve. One of these account deteriorate, deficit increases. Deterioration means deficit increases. Improvements mean either deficit decreases or surplus increases. Current account. So the current account can improve or deteriorate, while trade account improve or deficit because of the impact of other accounts. So I want you to basically compare these two, 5.1 and 5.7, understand. So the overall BOP and these things. Now, next one. Well, at the same time, I will read this clearly. The you can see outflow, inflow, significant inflows to the financial account. Now we come to observe during the year. Financial account, the financial account, government loans, the government loans. These are precision inflows and the outflow. Outflow, the loans, FDIs 1.2 billion. Then you have the outflow, the ISBs, the government loans, bank bonds. These are the items. You can get those numbers from these. Inflow is the credit. Outflow is the debit. So now these are very interesting. The chart. You can understand what is BOP. Inflow from all the sources, outflow from all the sources. Balance between these two is the balance of payment, right? But here we are talking on the financial account. But inflows from all the sources: current account, current transaction, capital transaction, financial transaction, current transaction, capital transaction. It can be there. But here we discuss financial account, loans, investment, sale of assets, loans, investment, sale of assets, right? So therefore, the portfolio or the credit, the FDIs, right? These are FDI inflow, for example, FDI 1.2 billion. So we don't have FDIs the other side. You can see that government securities. That's all, no? Yeah. Then we come to this next table, reserves. Now again, that's important point to know. This direction of trade. You can see direction of trade. Now this table is very important. Direction of trade. Now you can see direction of trade by countries. 2014 and 2019, right? Direction of trade. What has happened to export? Who are our major trade partners in the exports? Who are our major trade partners in imports? You can see this diagram. You can see, for example, USA 2014, USA purchased 25% of our exports. 2019, 26% of our marginal improvement. Then the 25%, 1/4 of our exports going to US export, right? Then the USA. Now, for example, Germany. After that, you have the EU countries, 16%, 17 EU countries, especially garments. Exports by destinations. Now, this diagram is very important. You can understand. Middle East countries, exports by tea. The other products, biscuits going to the Middle East. Even though they are small, Middle East contribution is quite high, right? Exports. Imports by origin. You can see imports, UAE 8%. Here EU countries 17%. Exports higher than the imports. Then you can see the India. Where is India now? India exports. They purchase 6% of exports, but we import 21% from India. Trade. We compare only the India and Sri Lanka. There's exports 6%, import 21%. Gap is there's a trade deficit outflow when they buy more and more product from India. Outflow, right? But with the US, you have huge surplus. Even there's a negligible. We don't import from US, but the US purchase Sri Lankan products, right? Then again, the Middle East countries, 5%, 11%, 5%. With the Middle East, we have Middle East and other countries. Of course, they have classified. Okay, Asia and other 18, 10 and 18. Again, deficit in the 10 and 18, right? Okay. So the thing is, our markets, mainly the Sri Lanka's exports markets. Trade deficits, the trade surplus and deficit by destination, by countries. When you see, we have surplus with US, trade surplus with EU, but trade deficit is Import and export difference only for that country. India. Trade deficit with China. Trade deficit with Japan. What does that mean? Trade deficit means money going out of the outflow is higher than inflow. For example, India. From India, we buy imports 21%. To India, only 6%. So therefore, huge outflow, India. And China also same. China 18%. China here in this country, this tribal, there is no 18%. Imported goods. This is the problem. The China we don't have. It might be included in Asia other. China. With China, we have deficit. With India, we have deficit. With the Japan, we have deficit. But with US, we have surpluses. So therefore, our markets, our buyers in US and the EU countries, right? Not in this region. So the one argument is there because the China is with Asian countries. With Asian countries, you have the trade deficit. With other countries, you have the trade surpluses. They're long away. You don't import. You don't import the US cars, no. We import the Japanese cars, right? So that's why we have the huge deficit with this and with Asian countries and surplus. So therefore, you have to protect this both. So you can't say you can't say no. We can survive without US. We can survive without you. No. When they stop buying things from Sri Lanka, we are in trouble because our major market, one of the major markets, USA is, right? So when India stop buying, of course, India doesn't. Contribution is 6%, right? We import from India. So therefore, we have to have balance. We need India, China, and Japan. But at the same time, we should know we have the outflow. We have a deficit with them. And we need from the other side, we need US and the EU countries, Germany. Germany, you can see 5% of our Germany doesn't have. Let's see now they are 2019%, that is 2014, not that much of difference. USA shares increase 25 to 26%. EU shares slight drop. Germany share 5%. India same 14 to 19. The 5 years time. UK 10% slight drop, mainly garment is one. Other than the Middle East 11% slight drop, slight improvement. Imports what will happen? China 18 to 20%. 2014 from our overall imports, China share was the 18%. Now it is 20%. To India 20%, 21 to slight drop. Singapore 65. Share. EU 8 to 10, slight improvement when we buy things, more things from EU actually. Other 15, there's a significant changes here in China. 18% to 20% increase. Right? Others, of course, more or less the same. Right? Yes, right, okay. These are direction of trade. Please read that. Right? Direction of trade. Now I want to go to we discuss 5.7. Now I want to go to others. Of course, you can understand. Financial account, we have reserves. Financial account, you can see now. Please compare these things. Financial account, derivatives, same thing here. 5.1, 5.7. Reserves. The next last table is our reserves. Yes. Reserves is a stock variable. Now these are reserves. 5.12. Now this when the overall balance of payment, what is reserves? Countries asset, foreign assets mean every country, the central bank maintains the foreign assets of that country. Central bank has separate account, foreign assets. They are called foreign reserves, foreign assets. Actually, there are slight differences in these definitions. Then what will happen? During the year, balance of payment position changes. Let's assume at the beginning of the year, January, our total foreign reserves is around the 1,000 million. During the year, buying and selling, imports and exports, financial transactions, the flows are there. Then let's say value is around 200 negative. Initial assets foreign reserve 1000. During there was a minus 200 flows. End of the year, what is our position? Reserve position 1000 minus 200, 800. Our reserves comes down to 8,000 to 800. Understand? Reserves. If there is a surplus of 200, what 11 balance of payment surplus means our reserves will improve. You add this surplus into the outstanding the balance. Then you get the final balance. 1000 plus 200 or 1000 minus 200. 800, 1000 plus 200 reserves increases. Now reserves, now this is the calculation of reserves. Country's reserve. Now this reserves for the whole country. Whole country, not for a company, right? In dollars. Now this is a very important indicator. Reserves are important. It's like, for example, last time I mentioned about reserves, your income, household income, and your household assets. Household assets, your house, your car, your land, your jewelry. The rupee value of these, all this is your assets. During the year, you get income. Coming and out, coming and going out. Then at the end, you have the savings or surplus or deficit. If there are savings, you add this to the reserve. Sometimes if there are savings, you might buy another land. You might buy the motorcycle. You might buy some extension to a house, right? Then that is an asset. And your assets improves during the year. So the similar to the household level, this is the country's assets also initial asset. During the balance of payment transactions taken place choosing various sub accounts, the financial account, current transactions are entered. At the end, overall balance of payment 200, let's say 200 million deficit, and initial surplus is 1000 of foreign reserve. 1000 minus 200 is 800 is the reserves. If there is surplus, overall balance of, for example, 2019 we had a surplus of 377 million. Now we'll see the calculation. Now how to calculate now the net position, net NIR, the various reserves. Total foreign assets $9 billion, $8 billion, $10.4 billion. How do you calculate total foreign assets? Total foreign assets, how do you calculate? Then you have the foreign liabilities. Then you get the net international reserve. NIR is the key indicator. Overall balance, then gross official reserve. Now this is the important indicator. The gross official reserves in months is this one. So the calculation you can understand. Government foreign assets, central bank foreign assets, 1 plus 2, gross official reserves. Government foreign assets, these are in dollars. Central bank foreign assets. When you take the central bank annual report, the central bank balance sheet, the central bank annual report, you have this central bank separately. Central bank the balance sheet is there. This there's a separate account. You can see the central bank foreign asset. Sum of these two, government plus central bank, is the gross official reserves. Gross foreign assets and deposit taking corporations. Deposit taking corporations, commercial banks, deposit assets of the, then you add these two, then you get the total foreign assets of the country. Total foreign assets. For total foreign assets, what is this? The total foreign assets of the country. B, that's a small note. Excludes foreign assets in the form of direct investment abroad and trade credit and advance grant. This definition are that important. Our calculation is this: total foreign assets 10 billion, 9 billion, 10 billion, 8 billion. Now we don't stop at that point. There are the liabilities also, the reserve rules. Then you get some adjustments. Liabilities are there. No? Liabilities, the total outstanding debt of the central bank, excluding outstanding special drawing rate. Now make the adjustment for this one, C. So you deduct this thing. Then this is yeah. NIR 3 minus 6, 3 minus 6, 3 minus 6, 3 minus 6. 3 minus 6, gross official reserves minus 6 is the liabilities. Reserves minus liabilities, you get this overall net NIR. Then this overall balance is, what is this? Balance of payment position 37719, 2018 1103. Now what will happen when you add these two? From these two we can calculate net gross official reserves in months, total foreign assets in month. This is the indicator. Net international reserves is a key indicator. Net indicator. Or if you talk about the gross official reserve, this is the indicator. Right? Our calculations is the balancing of these items are there. This one, right? Now, when you calculate the reserves, there are various ways to indicate the reserves. For example, let's say reserves, total reserves is 2000. December total as at December 31st, our Sri Lanka's reserves is $2,000 million. Right? Then let's assume our total import for the particular year is 20 million. 2,000 million, 20 million. 2,000, let's say 200 million. 2,000 to 2,000. What is the number? 2,000, 2,000 and 200. 2,000 is the total assets, total foreign asset. 200 is the value of this. Simple example. Total imports. When you divide these things, if you spend your all reserves, 2,000 to buy imports goods, how many months of imports can be financed? 1 month imports 200. Overall 20,000. 20,000 divided by 200. 20,000 divided by 2,000. 20 months. Correct? Yes. 20 months can be financed. So this is the way we express our foreign reserve in terms of the gross official reserves in months of imports of goods. When you have these reserves, you divide these total reserves by the number of gross official reserves. Gross official reserve, this no, gross official reserves divided by value of imports, annual value of import, annual value of import. This is in billions. So billion gross value of gross official reserves, months of import, value of monthly value of imports. Then if you divide that by that, reserves is enough to finance so much of the number of months that you can depend on using your reserve. How many months of imports can be financed? Indicator. You don't spend all your reserves, but it's an indicator. It's an indicator, right? Okay. For example, let's assume your household, your income is total assets is 1,000, value of your house, value of your car, value of your value of your gold, jewelries, then the computers, all these fixed assets. Let's say 1,000 total household assets. 1,000. Your consumption is the monthly consumption is 100. 1,000, 100. 1,000 divided by 100. 1,000 divided. So how many, if you use your reserve, monetary value 1,000, your monthly consumption 100. If you can use these all the reserves to finance your consumption, how many months can be the finance? 1,000 divided by 100. 10 months. It's an indicator. Right? You don't spend all your assets to buy, finance your consumption. You don't sell your house, you don't sell your car, you don't sell your jewelries, but it's an indicator. Like that, country's foreign reserves divided by monthly value of imports gives you how many months of the imports can be financed using a given level of foreign reserves. That is the 4.6 months. 3.8 months of imports can be financed. 4.6 months of imports can be. Now this is an indicator. Now, when reserves goes down, total reserves goes down, what will happen? This monthly import decreases. This might go down to a 2, 1, 3. If reserves increase, this will increase. This will increase 5, 6, 7. It's a healthy improvement. our total reserves enough to finance 4.6 months of imports. Our total reserves are finance 2016, 3.8 months. If country has disturbances, war period, during the war period, I can remember 1970s, 80s, our reserves went down, huge drop in reserves. Only 1 week of imports could be financed using our reserves. It is coming down. Now, these are very healthy situation. 5 months of imports can be financed. That's an indicator. If you think about that, the household example, total assets is 1,000, monthly consumption is 100, 1,000 divided by 100 is 10 months of consumption can be financed using your assets. We don't do that, but that's an indicator. If you are, let's say your value of your assets, household level, the assets comes down to 500, monthly consumption 100, only then 5 months of consumption can be financed. 10 to 5. It's an indicator what happened to your assets coming down. Same argument in the country. Country also, when foreign assets comes down, your monthly equivalent amount of months also coming down. Now these days after COVID, this is the problem in most of the countries, especially developing countries like Sri Lanka, our reserves. Now we have to check 2020 what is happening to our reserves and what is happening to our months of imports, right? Definitely it will come down, right? Not that high, that level, but you have to check with the central bank the numbers, the quarterly or the half-yearly numbers to get this the idea about the reserves, reserve position. Reserves are expressed in terms of billions of dollars or in terms of months of imports. That's all, right? Okay, that is the thing. Total assets, yes. Today I will stop little early. Now, what is the position next week? I will continue this with some quantitative examples, and plus I want to. I have one more topic, ISLM model. After that, now we might be able to see you all physically. We can see you all and have some session end of this at least revision session. So then we can meet it again. But before that, I have one more topic, ISLM. I'm thinking of a bit quantitative model. Equations are there. I'm thinking of how to prepare a note. Next week I will finish this. Almost this is completed, but I will go through with the help of these notes. I will go through that again and a little bit I will discuss. Then we'll go to the ISLM model, start the ISLM model. Please go home and read, compare these numbers. Everything is there in the overall section. You can understand easily. Right? Okay, we'll stop now. See you next week. Next week is when is next week? Next week is calendar. Today is 29th. No, yeah, August 5th. August 5th, no? August 5th, yes. 5th, yes. Saturday, yeah. We don't have any holiday. 5th, we have 5th, then 12th, then 19th. I need 3 days to finish this ISLM. After that, we'll start the revision session. September, probably October, November, you have the exams, right? Okay. Revision sessions must, right? We'll have that one. Okay. Anyway, we'll stop now. Please read this, note again. Come back. I'll just spend another half an hour with this note and start the ISLM model. Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.